finally, I'm back doing movie reviews, and this time I got probably the only one of my movie reviews that's going to come out probably early. I got to go see the Batman: The Killing Joke, the DC's first R-rated quote unquote cinematic DC animated movie. This is in second R-rated Batman film. To me, I freaking love this movie. But when I say love loosely, because I loved Batman: The Killing Joke. I did not love Batman Barbara Gordon slash Batgirl slash The Killing Joke. I liked The Killing Joke part of this movie. There's a big there is a big dividing line between which was the actual Killing Joke, which was the comic book, and the comic book written by Alan Moore that we all know and love, for the same backstory and the same backstory that we've known for years about the Joker, and then you have the side story, or more the prologue, for the Barbara Gordon Batgirl character that they added in because they wanted to add something more to the movie, which I totally understand. But I want to say this right now, that if you haven't read The Killing Joke, or if you haven't read The Killing Joke, or you haven't watched this movie, I totally suggest reading the comic book first. That's what I do, because I really don't think you would want this to be your very first impression of the Batman: The Killing Joke. I think I will say full spoiler warning when I talk about the actual Killing Joke part of the movie, but I won't spoil what happens about the whole Batgirl prologue part of the movie, which is in the beginning. So, starting off the Batgirl stuff, there is a 30-minute, I want to say like 33-minute prologue for the Batgirl Barbara Gordon character, for like what they tried doing was to flesh out the character and her relationship with Batman. But come on, like, you serious? Like, you're telling, this is the Joker story. This is one of the most iconic Batman, one of the most iconic Joker stories of all time, and I don't see it really got to me that I didn't see the Joker in the first 10 minutes. I'm like, alright, fine. They're going to show him eventually. 20 minutes pass by. 30 minutes, and I'm like, we don't still have Mark Hamill. I don't hear Mark Hamill at all for the first 33 minutes of this movie. That really ticked me off. I was very disappointed about that part, but I had no problem when I heard that they were going to just flesh out the Barbara Gordon character. That did not bother me at all. What bothered me is how they decided to do that. I'm not going to spoil it all, but they decided to take the relationship with her and Batman to a different level, which was completely stupid, because it really diminished her character to just like what a woman would be considered in like 20 years ago. Like, they really diminished her character, where all she cared about is the relationship with Batman, when Batgirl and Barbara Gordon as a character is more about helping and more about being a hero, to my knowledge, I don't remember Batman and Batgirl ever having or getting together ever. Like, I really don't remember that, which is really odd to me, especially since, like, I'm not sure how they never told us the age difference, but it was distracting, and was very distracting throughout the rest of the movie. And the way that they were saying it as the reason why they added it was because they wanted to add more impact to what happened to her character in the actual story. And I'm like, I didn't care. I would have cared more if you didn't, because we all know who Batgirl and we all know who Barbara Gordon is, but I feel like you kind of diminish the character. You really, just because you're thinking of, like, why would they do that throughout this whole thing? And why did you, like, almost waste 30 minutes of the original actress from the animated series why did you waste 30 minutes of her time, or all that recording time, and why did you waste 30 minutes of good, where you could have put more into the actual Killing Joke storyline? You could have added actually more depth into the Joker. You could have added a little more scenes. You could have added more into Joker's plan. You could have given us more of Batman in that actual storyline, where it's like, it was super, super disappointing. That part of that movie, it was like, I feel like it really diminished the Batgirl character for me, and I was very, very, very displeased with that part of the movie. The first 30 minutes, passable, but the rest of the movie was, oh my gosh, it was so, so good. Mark Hamill was amazing as the Joker, as he always is, but this was the definitive Joker storyline, and they finally brought it to a screen. They brought it to some big screens, but and like just to have all that, and you have oh my gosh. I take pride in myself because I remember the names of actors and voice actors and stuff like that. I'm blanking on the name of man. I'm blanking on the name who voices Batman, but that's the voice that I picture, and so is Mark Hamill. That's the voice that I hear when I'm reading Batman comics, which really sucks. And so, like he did an awesome job. I was just very impressed. Jim Gordon, like if my beef with this movie is that I understand why they made it rated R, but it's like this really isn't anything more R rated than if you read the Killing Joke storyline, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I definitely wouldn't recommend showing this to children or like you really wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'd rather go show them like Batman under the Red Hood or the Dark Knight Returns, even though it is a better like I feel like it earned its R rating for a reason, but also for different reasons, like for with Batgirl. But that was just like a weird thing. But like if truthfully, if you can read and you got through Alan Moore's The Killing Joke, you'll be fine. Like I read that story maybe a couple years ago, and I reread it again when I heard that this movie was coming out, and I was totally fine. Like it didn't traumatize me or anything. Like I was able to sit through it, but I was able to still call out the flaws and stuff like that. Like everything else was flawless. I liked it. I would have wished like it. The part of the things that I was thinking is that like the Joker story is such a main thing, but I always wondered like I wonder if they're gonna show like more of the Joker making his plan for like when he takes Jim Gordon and when they take all that. I wish they would have shown and fleshed out that part of it more, but I guess they really didn't. But they really didn't. I was hoping that's what they added when they were saying they're adding more material to the actual Killing Joke storyline, but. All in all, I really enjoyed the Killing Joke part of this movie, not the Batgirl part. But overall, I feel like I really don't know if I want to go buy this on Blu-ray or not because do I want to buy? Do I want to spend $20 or do I want to spend $25 on a movie that I know I'm gonna fast forward the 30 minutes of it before when like it's really like really hard to say because I love the Joker. Joker's my favorite. It was my favorite villain of all time. Batman's my second favorite character of all time, and it's like really hard to narrow it down, but. I'd have to give this movie like a 6. Like it really, like, the Batgirl stuff really brought the movie down for me. It's like to the point where I start getting the Joker and I start getting the Killing Joke stuff that I wanted. It really disappointed me, just because I still had all that Batgirl stuff in my mind. It was really, yeah, it definitely a good movie. Not I've seen worse animated DC movies. I've seen worse Marvel animated movies. Like definitely a good movie. Definitely not one to show the younger kids. But if like the way I go with this, if you can read and you got through like the weirdness and the creepiness and like just the cynical mind of the Joker in the actual comic, then you can get through this movie. And if you loved the Joker and you haven't not read or if you've not read or watched this movie yet, read the comic first, please, so you can appreciate the movie and the adaptation better because this was a very good adaptation, but from a different standpoint, and you can appreciate it more as a whole, and you can be able to recognize like the certain problems, or maybe you did like certain things, but it's just I cannot urge you enough to read the book first. It is such an amazing storyline, and then watch this to see how you feel about it. That's my opinions on The Killing Joke. Definitely one of my most anticipated movies of the year, but I'm sad to say that I liked the Killing Joke part of it, but I didn't like the Batgirl part of it.